All right, guys. Happy Sunday. Let's get right into our weekly plan here and figure out what kind of opportunities we're going to have this week. As the market is set to get some news, and as I believe we got FOMC and so forth. So the first thing is that we need to identify what kind of condition is the market. And in the weekly time frame, we are one time framing up. In the daily time frame, we are one time framing up, and in the monthly time frame, we are one time framing up. The breakout that we have here from the 4840 area, we reached the 100% extension of the range, which it was close to the 4927 area. Um, so we'll see what that takes us. 100% extension of the range. Yep, that's correct. Um, so let's see what we got based on Friday. So Friday's high is right over here. If you take a look at Friday's high, was made basically at 34.25 compared to the high of this area, which is 33.25. So it went up above by 1 point. So it basically cleared the poor high that we have identified here. So we're going to get rid of the poor high in a second. All right, so here we have a couple of things, a couple of pieces of information that we have to consider. We have a spike over here, which I have highlighted in purple here. We also have a spike right here, which I need to highlight in yellow. Um, if you see, we have a spike inside a spike. So this is pretty fun. I love that. So look, we have a spike inside a spike. I bet this area is really important. What do you think? Price got down here, bounce, boom, for 100 and some. I think it was not 100 points. We traded this live, by the way, for 36 points. So this was great, just because of the spikes that we were looking for here in these areas. So, anyways, so let's take a look at the volume profile for last week. So last week, 5 sessions, one, two, three, four, five. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get rid of these daily profiles that are here. We're working on the weekly plan, so we're gonna get rid of the daily profiles. We're gonna get the weekly plan. I had a poor high here that I got corrected. Yeah, so I don't need that anymore. So let's get our volume profile and look at the last 5 sessions. And then we have a value area high here, value area low. We have a POC. So that's basically how that last week's low looks like. So we're gonna go and take a look at our plan here. I'm gonna start drawing as we go. So we don't have a pivot yet. So value area high is let's just call it 49.32. Value area low, we're gonna say that it is 48.92. 48.92. 48.92. Weekly POC, we have it here 49.16. 49.16. Okay, so we got that information loaded into our plan. So now we got to work on targets. All right, so targets. Well, the most important thing is where are we going to pivot from? Well, for me, it's very simple and self-explanatory. The pivot is going to be this area here. So we're going to take a look at some elements. Let me see. We have two options. On Friday, we use the daily pivot of, take a look and see what we use on Friday. I also, I forget things, so I had to refer back. Uh, 48, 48.18 was our pivot on Friday. So let's just do that. Let's use a weekly pivot of 48.18. 49.18, I'm sorry. Why am I saying that? Well, because the thing is that if we get above this area, then we're likely to break this out. So I don't want to put a pivot here and have you become a seller here for long term position. Yes, you could be a seller here um, for lower targets. But I'd rather have you watch this area here because there's a lot of volume here, and we can use the value area high as confirmation for a potential breakout. Because right now, even though we are one time framing up, I want you to focus on this range consolidation here. And it's pretty evident that we have been compressing. So there's a lot of compression happening in here. And when you profile this area, you can see the POCs in some exact spot for the last 3 days and the last 5 sessions. So you have an area here that is telling you, hey, I'm important. Hey, I'm important. Hey, I'm important. The last 3 days, I'm important. The last 5 days, I'm important. So therefore, we're going to make it important. So we're going to use this reference point here. Even though we're not in the 3 day balance, we're going to treat this just like a 3 day balance. So what we look for in here, we're going to look for something very, very similar to what we do when we trade breakouts, right? So we're looking for a breakout of balance and retest. So we're going to look for the opposite here and retest. But because you're with me, you have an advantage. The advantage is that if I draw the 50% in this level here, I get 12. So pretty close to the POC, which is 17. So let's make, I did say 18 here. So if you operate on a weekly pivot, let's just call it 2.5 points. The downside, that would be 15 and a half. So 15 and a half, and it would be that. So I'm uncomfortable with that. Okay, so this area here is gonna be very important. So from here to 18, we say 18. Right here. All right, so we got that covered. So we can potentially look for the semi scenario, and now you would know, right? You would know where to follow that from there. We're looking for pivotal areas. Pivotal areas. That's basically what you're looking for, right? So we're gonna pivot from here and use that midpoint of the last 5 sessions, and which is a confluence with the midpoint of the last 3 day. Let's just call it like JD balance area, uh, and see where we go from there. All right. So now we're gonna look for reference points. Okay. So if we have this area here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look for an extension of this area and see where that can potentially take me to. Then we're gonna start looking for our target points and see what visual references we have to go by. Okay, so let's go down here first. So target number one, if we were to break below this, the bottom of the area is here is not a big area, but let's just call it 48.90. So downside D1 is 48.90. There's a confluence with last week target number one. Okay, so 48.90. It's 28 points. Assuming we break below this, then we're gonna start looking for single prints. So let's just look at the structure that we have here. So this area here is a single print, right? This area is a single print. This area here is a single print. And this area here is a single print. And this area here is a single print. This is a breakout. So what we're gonna do here is pretty simple. For target two, this is the range expansion, 100%. Look exactly where that range expansion takes us. This is not coincidental, guys. This is crazy, man. But it's how it works. So weekly target number three on the downside is going to be 48.40. What am I doing here? I say the first one here was going to be 48.90. Oh, I wrote it in the wrong spot. Okay, right, 48.90. Let me put a bunch of ones here. 48.90. Last one is going to be 48.40 down here. And the top of the single prints here are 48.62. This is the first set of singles when I use 48.62. You can profile this if you want, but I already very familiar with my own system, so it's really easy for me to draw these areas and find the spikes and find the single prints and stuff like that. Now to the upside, see what we got. So if we're pivoting from here, the top of the area is just put a 35 in there. First target is gonna be 49.35. We have a 48.80. So 100% extension of the range that we're in, a 3-day balance, 3-day JD balance. That's not a market profile balance. Let's just call it 49.80. And I believe I had, I know the target here was 63. When you look at 63, what's 63? When we measured this, 63 was 100% of the breakout from the weekly balance. 49.63. And then 49.80. Those are my 49.63 and 49.80. So here's the application of the balance zones. Here's the application of pivot and all the things that we discuss on a daily basis. So now remember, here we have a poor high. I don't know why I deleted this here, but we also have a poor low somewhere around here. I just forgot where the poor low is. Oh, you know what? This thing that was here was a poor low. That's why I had the other dot here. So we will re-add that in here because it's this session created a poor low. So it's a chance that this get cleaned up in this session here. That's why I dot there. But we have a target there anyways. So yeah, high and low that session. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's our weekly trade plan for the ES. All right, guys. Let's go get it.